fucked up. It's rough. You should maybe take him to court.
All right, I'm starting this. I'm starting this damn thing.
Hooray! Thank you, Your Honor.
Ladies and gentlemen of the court, we have heard arguments for the appeal of the hearing for the product of the misstatement of and the statement of for the characterization of the lax foundation of.
Where is Rami?
Let me honest. Can we get a counter of how many times this court was objected? I'm gonna say we're gonna shoot for around 52. 52 times in which we heard objections. So great work. I want to thank both the prosecution and the defense for being so stagnant and pointed with their arguments, trying to make sure that they are in it and here to win it. So I'm giving props to both teams for that. I'm going to start how I do every case by reading the letter of the law verbatim, exactly how it is said, so that way we can all have an understanding of how the letter of law is stated. Criminal possession of a government-issued firearm reads, the code reads, it is illegal to possess a government-owned or issued firearm without being a duly sworn peace officer who is currently on duty or off duty. This includes the firearms that LEOs purchase for their sworn daily duties. All right, piggybacking off of that. So we're going to talk about the police procedure that was done here and whether or not they were legal or not. The police procedure here, as testified to both Mr. Slacks and Mr. Gray, was that they responded to calls of a shoot. Or I'm sorry, Mr. Johnson too. I forgot about that. Mr. Johnson, which he was a cop for. That police procedure that he did was that he responded to a shots fired call, an armed and dangerous call, a visibly dangerous and threatening call of a shots fired. They responded to that call. They proceeded to try to investigate the area, try to scope the scene out, and try to get more details. From there, the waters, they start to muddy, because I have a bit of a confusing timeline. No timeline here by both the defense and the prosecution was ever adhered to. We jumped between several different moments, which is very crucial for establishing the timeline. I don't think that any merits of any timeline was met by either side here today, because we have gaps, we have uncertainties.
Let's go
in the timeline itself, which doesn't lead to timelines. I just want to clarify, does not mean to gaps in the actual charge and how it's being pressed today. But the timeline is showing some doubt. Specifically, I want to talk about Johnson's testimony, where he said there was a solid 3 to 5 minutes in which he did not get any backup. But I also want it to be referred to that he also began a chase with another individual in a separate car. The timelines got so hazy and misconstrued that it was hard to follow within this case. I had to piece it together as best as I could, and I think for both the prosecution and the defense side, I think further in other court cases and other testimonies, what's something you should learn from this is to always establish a set timeline and to make sure that each and every single piece of articulation is being backed up. All right, but we move to what did happen, which was a frisk was conducted upon Mr. K.
Okay.
Conducted by Mr. Gray, or sorry, Miss Gray. The police procedure in itself, I know it was testified to and argued against that the police procedure is underneath the fruit of the poisonous tree, as it is not under the purview of the court of law. Okay, we do not consider police procedure into a criminal appeal as it relates to specifics that were being done. We do argue it in civil case, and I do think that there are some litigations here that could be met with a civil case. So I want to remind the courts here today that this could have potential grounds for a civil case to be heard.
That's huge.
And that is something that I would like to see happen.
No,
Because we
thanks.
have several arguments of Terry versus Ohio being mentioned, fruit of the poisonous tree being mentioned, due diligence not being met in the terms of the cop side, for the medical treatment, for the medical care being disrupted. All of that That
It's
has no
civil.
grounds here. This is a criminal appeal. This is not something that we're going to decide here
Yeah, but
today.
we can use that.
But
Wait.
I do urge the fact
How is
that that
Terry
can be
versus
used
Ohio civil?
civil appeal.
That's
With
the
that being
basis of
said,
fruit of the
we're gonna
poison
move
tree, which is
to any
criminal.
doubts that was the police or that the police provided. It is known that having this gun proves the letter of the law for a fact. We have that it has proof because we have a picture on evidence of Mr. K having that gun. It was not corroborated against at all that he did not have the gun. We know that he has this gun, full form and factor. And I also would like to mention that in the appeal, it does say constructive possession. Constructive possession does not apply here because constructive possession, it more so relates to a person's property or premise. If it is found within the car, perhaps that is owned by him, or if it's found within a home or something, that falls into constructive possession. This is not constructive possession. This is actual possession of a firearm.
Yeah, correct.
So any thoughts about constructive possession, I did not weigh in.
That's fine.
I also want to mention Murphy Braun's case that was heard as in terms of precedent. Precedent is something that we take pretty seriously here. Terry v. Ohio, I already mentioned, is a precedent. Fruit of the Poisonous Tree is a precedent. Miranda is a precedent. These are all things that we have decided upon ourselves here in the court that sets bars for how we treat further cases moving forward. It is note that Murphy's case is similar in ideology between this case and the last. However, there is a lot of exigent factors. There's a lot of answers that do not apply. Murphy's case, he was not found for a period of time. His timeline was different. Almost practically everything except for the fact that he had a gun on him was different. And I do want to point out that he is exonerated from those charges. That he in appeal, that was not heard into appeal, and so the appeal was granted. So that cannot be used as precedent any longer. So we move.
Do you have something mobile outside?
Excuse me, sir.
Oh.
Thank you. I do want to also mention Mr. Ramia Raman's testimony. I am personally very confused as to why Mr. Raman was not called upon to the stand by the prosecution. I thought that was an absolute missed opportunity.
Yep, agreed.
The testimony that Rami provided from the defense's end showed a lot of lack of answers. It showed a lot of do not recall. It showed a lot of can't remember. From what we had a lot of weird argumentation. We have all that. I did not take any of that into consideration. But I feel like it was an absolute miss for the prosecution to not have Rami on the stand today. But at the same time, the charge is what we're working on. We have a bit of a shaky timeline, but we have absolutely fact that the letter of the law was proven. And we have virtually nothing for me that would not prove this beyond a reasonable doubt. So I will be finding Mr. K guilty of government-issued firearm at this
Why
time.
do I have a bunch of Republicans in the judiciary? A bunch of letter of the law Republicans.
What is that? I can't even hear.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Not guilty?
Sorry, can you repeat that, Your Honor?
Hold on.
He's
Your Honor,
guilty.
I have a
Guilty.
question. I have a question.
Yes.
So, what happens when you get found with a PD gun on you?
Honestly,
Dumb fuck.
go for it.
What do you mean go for it?
Go for it, man.
He was just asking a hypothetical, Your Honor.
He a judge, that's why.
I was just
With
asking
all due
hypothetical.
respect, fuck you. Fuck the whole PD. Fuck the whole legal system.
We're
You all a bunch of cocksuckers.
Risky.
You guys have lost
Mr.
the
K.
plot. Fuck
Shut
you.
the fuck
Shut
up.
the
He's
fuck
talking
up,
right
bitch.
now, man.
You guys fucking suck dick. You've lost the plot. And there's just no justice here. They've proven they didn't do any proper investigation to find out where the gun was from. They were given names. They didn't frisk him. They didn't GSR him. They didn't do anything. They didn't fucking raid them. They didn't do shit. Your law sucks. The DOJ sucks. The whole council sucks. Everything fucking sucks. And that's all I have to say.
Second.
Oh, man. You mean Crane?
Mr. K. Mr. K, Mr. K, stop running! Mr. K! Mr. K!
Looks like
Yo!
He's
Oh my
been
God,
tackled on
dude!
the
Mr. K,
ground.
do
He's
not
right
run,
behind
okay?
us.
Oh my God,
Don't
dude!
resist
Allow
arrest.
other individuals tackling
He's-
officers. If any of you tackles officers,
still
you're gonna
running.
be beat by a nightstick. This is your one.
Nothing
and only
new,
chance.
nothing new,
Tackle.
Oh
nothing
my God,
new,
dude!
nothing
There's a
new.
fire, yo!
Taco, if you tackle me,
Yo, there's a
fuck
fire,
up.
yo!
Fuck up.
See,
Yapping.
shit,
Running
sorry.
All I hear is
downstairs,
yapping.
second floor.
Get Taco.
I'm sorry. I couldn't see
Tony
anything. I
VCB.
needed to find the
Ah,
attic.
he tripped me, you son of a
VCB.
bitch.
No, he's
He's
VCB.
running out front now. Running out front.
Holy crap.
Don't touch him.
Okay, you're getting beat, Taco.
Oh, who cares?
Get Taco.
Yeah.
Get Taco. Taco, hands behind your back.
No.
You're running. Okay, you're getting beat, Taco.
Beat me up. Fuck it.
Hey, watch
Excuse me.
out, you guys.
What the hell?
Yeah.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Let me get my vehicle. Come on! Fuck! Wait, is that mine? I gotta go help Taco.